What is up? What bloody hell? Bloody hell!
Oh, bloody hell.
Bloody hell! I'm trying to do this.
Look at what I've got.
Hey, Bobby, what you doing, man? What's that?
Hey, what's up? Oh, nope, down he goes.
He's like, nope, I don't want any of that.
He just wanted to pop in and say hi.
That's my little dude, man, for sure. So what's new, Chickapoo? Anything?
Working.
I guess
All
I should
day,
say.
every day.
Oh, bloody hell. Hi, Natalie. Natalie Mosley.
Hi, Natalie.
Yeah, that's Natalie Mosley.
Hello, hello.
She loves horses. Man, it feels like it's
Like
been
horses.
forever since we've been on. I know you do. I can't even do it.
I was gonna say,
Right. But yeah, dude, it feels like it's been forever since we've been on, you know?
it kind of has. It's been a couple
Dude,
weeks.
It has, man. It was a
We had
good
an
couple
amazing
weeks.
holiday.
Well,
Yeah, we had a
last week
good, we
wasn't
had a
that
good
good.
little vacation, didn't we?
We did, dude. We really did.
Hi, Larry. Even though you didn't say hi to me, you just said hi to Scotty.
Yeah, good job, Larry. What's up, brother? I hope you're doing all right, man. I'm kind of sore, but yeah. Me and Larry did crack seal today. It was a good time. Good time.
You did crack today. I bet you are a little.
Oh, I am. Look at this. Stranger danger.
Well, hello, Shannon.
Shannon. She's
And
one of my
Stephanie.
favorite peeps, man.
I think your relative there is picking on you a little, Scott.
That's funny coming
Maybe
from
she's picking on
somebody.
me. I don't know.
Maybe. But it's funny coming from somebody who looks like a donkey and acts like one.
That's more my style.
No, she's definitely a donkey.
So Maddie was sitting there picking her music for her dance class or cutting her music for her dance because they have recital this weekend. Hello, Willow.
Most definitely.
But Maddie was cutting her dance music, and I said she teaches a class of people with special needs, and I said I've got the perfect song for that. First thing Crystal said is, "Don't be an ass."
I think my niece
I
Stephanie.
didn't pick anything. I picked "Don't Worry, Be Happy." What better song is there for a group? You know, for like mentally challenged individuals. I mean, that's a great song.
I think my niece Stephanie here is in that class.
Oh man.
Well, I appreciate it, Shannon, so much.
Yeah, thank you, Shannon. Share, please.
So I can see who's.
I hope you get some good sleep. So
Can you go get my
Absolutely, get you some good rest.
and don't make me.
name? No, just get my mommy.
You remember your nickname your Uncle Chad gave you, right? So don't make me go there. Yes, if you're on here, like, share out, we would appreciate it. So
That's my grandson. Sorry.
That's my.
we got tonight, and then we got our season ending episode, which will be coming up here in the next couple of weeks, I do believe.
Crystal. We can all hear that. Sorry. She's been painting.
Oh, is she painting? Is that the roller? That's funny.
Spray paint.
Oh, she's spray painting. So she's huffing paint. Okay, I see.
Yep. She has to put up with me, so she has to do something.
Hey, and just so you know, Willow, I would love to have a donkey, man. Those things are freaking awesome. I'm just saying. Uh-oh.
Hello, Mama.
Hi, Mama. Why are you calling me on here?
Who's calling you?
My niece. Hey, Doofy, you know I'm on podcast live. Definitely. What?
Okay. He wants to come up and say hi again. Now there's a bunch of people in here. See, and I can say hi.
Yeah, you better keep that in mind,
Say
Stephanie. I'm
hello.
just
Don't you
saying.
say hello. You better
So
not say
tonight,
hello.
hi,
Don't say
Bubby.
hi. You
Hayden.
better not. You better not say. Oh, he's gonna stick his tongue out. You better not say hi. You better
Hi,
not.
Bubby.
You better not. You better not say hello. You better not say
Yeah.
hello. You better not. Don't you do it. Don't you say hi. Nope, that's Grandpa's. Thank you.
See, haha. Hey, Grandma. So tonight's episode, we are talking
You gotta get
about
down.
reincarnation.
Go on. Go play.
Uh,
Don't you go find
he's
Mom?
adorable,
You
Mom.
better not.
He is adorable.
He's spoiled rotten,
Yes, he
which
is.
I had no part of.
Sure. So, yes, because we actually talked about this over the weekend.
Now, I got one more thing before we get started. Crystal has been working all week with him. Have you seen the little Good to Grow drinks? And they
Yeah.
have like all the different toppers and stuff.
Yes.
So Crystal made this. He painted it,
That is awesome.
and then there's room for more. Piece of wall art out of all of his Good to Grow toppers.
That is awesome. I want some good to grow. Maybe I'll grow up.
Couldn't hurt. Try everything.
Yeah. His hair is amazing. It really is.
Oh, she's talking about Caden.
Oh, it's got to be. I mean, you know, that's how it is. So,
So reincarnation, and yes, we did talk about it over the weekend.
we did. It was a really interesting conversation.
And I promise not to cross my legs and tie my shoe, tie my bow tie.
Kumbaya. I'm sorry. So, what do you think, man? I mean, I know okay. When we talk about reincarnation, they talk about birthmarks, right? And I find that odd because I have a birthmark
I
right
do too.
here on my chest that actually resembles a bullet hole. So, and it makes you wonder because there's always been I've seen videos where like this one little kid knew everything about a village he'd never been to, where he lived and everything else. And so it makes me wonder about reincarnation, if it is in fact true that we
Well, you know, I have my theories about it, which I'll get into in a little bit. But I think first we have to dive into what is reincarnation, because different religions all over the world have their own sort of reincarnation story,
right.
especially prevalent in the Hindu religion.
Right.
Who believes we are reincarnated into different animals depending on how we lived, or another human being. There are many different things you can be reincarnated in, as in the Hindu religion. Of course, the most sacred form your reincarnated form could take, if you live the most, I don't want to say prestigious, pious, maybe. If you
Right.
live the holiest of lives, according to the Hindu religion, you would be reincarnated as a cow.
Right. Hi, sis. Cheyenne's in here.
No, they don't
I was actually just getting ready to message you.
work for a Hindu family.
They don't need any beef.
Well, in a sense, that's what they're kind of saying. Like they're saying in your past life, supposedly whatever your birthmark is supposed to be a way of a sign of your death. That's how you died in your past life.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Well, I
I've
don't want
always
to know
heard.
how I died then, because mine, I can't show you where mine is. Mine is right under my belt line.
Right under your belt line.
So, like, my belt right now for my pants is sitting right on top of it.
Bullet wound.
It's very small.
Bullet
And
wound.
it's right there. I don't know about bullet wound.
Hi, Joanne. I hope you're doing well. I hope the moving's going good. Hey, Bub, how you doing?
Now, two of my children both have birthmarks on the back of their necks,
Same spot.
right at their hairline, in the exact same spot.
And your grandson does
Huh.
too.
And so does my grandson. Same spot.
Of a different child.
That
And
is odd.
his mom doesn't have that birthmark.
Okay. Yeah, so, and that's interesting.
I have pain in my shoulder all the time too. Both my shoulders, both my knees, my back, my feet, my ankles.
And maybe it'll do that to you.
I think it's more hard work.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh,
Standing
my
on
bad.
concrete for too many years will do that.
I'm just saying. In the Navy. So you know I had to do it. I always gotta have that Navy joke in there somewhere, dude.
But yeah, I mean, there's so many different religions that believe in different forms of reincarnation.
Right.
And my personal take, being of the Christian faith, goes back to Ecclesiastes 12:7. Ecclesiastes, the Bible repeatedly tells us that we're made up of three parts: body, mind, and soul. Or body, spirit, and soul, I'm sorry.
Right.
Ecclesiastes 12:7 says our bodies become dust and return to the earth where it came from. And our spirit goes back to God who gave it. But it never mentions the soul. So, from a Christian point of view, if our soul is what makes us uniquely us, the spirit is the breath of life that God gives us.
Right.
I believe that breath of life gets sent back out into the world. And things that we experience imprints on that breath of life. So when that breath of life goes back out in the world, that's where reincarnation and past life experiences may come from. But our soul is what makes us us. That's the part of us that's going to go to heaven or hell. That's the part of us that lingers, is the soul. That's who we are as a person.
Right. And I discussed that with you, and I absolutely love that theory. I really do. You know, especially being in a paranormal field, when you talk about, spirits and stuff, that's an imprint. That is a person's imprint. Whether it's
And
especially if it's like see, now I'm drawing a blank. A residual energy, so something that reoccurs over and over and over and over.
it's kind of an imprint in time.
It's an imprint in that time.
Right. But I don't believe that is the reincarnated part of us.
Right.
I believe that's
saying,
actually a wrinkle in time.
Right. Now, I was just kind of explaining the spirit part.
Right. To me, and it's funny because my dad was a minister. My parents were both very religious.
Yeah, my
They harped
grandfather
on me
was.
for getting into this field, believe you
Oh,
me.
absolutely.
And they felt like it was bad for us to do. I mean, it was just the way it was, though. But in all truth and honesty, being a Christian and knowing that there's life after death, isn't that kind of the whole reason you do the whole religion thing in the first place?
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, knowing that life after death exists.
Yes.
Maybe we have to linger here as part of purgatory.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Which, by the way, if you're out there and you're watching this and you're Catholic, congratulations.
An American Pope.
And
is
for the first
named-
time in history, an
That's
American
right,
Pope
American Pope.
from Chicago. Thought it was bad before. Now they're going to be tied in with the mafia.
Right. All I know is that there is reincarnation, and I don't come back tall, I'm going to be pissed. I'm just saying, I'm going to be angry.
Scott, you never know.
Hi, Mama.
I mean, I've been told before by a couple of people that I trust in this field that at one point in time I died on the battlefield somewhere.
Right. And that, like I said, that makes me wonder if that happened to me as well. When I come over, I'll show you the mark because it's a circle like that.
I don't know. I
And
want to see it.
yeah, left side of my chest. I'm just saying.
I think I've
find
seen. I
it.
think you've showed it to me before.
I think so.
I think this weekend when we were talking about it.
I
I actually have to pull my pants down a little bit for you to see mine. That's why.
Oh,
That's
I
why
can't
I'm
wait.
hesitant.
I can't wait to see that Saturday.
I know you can't.
Oh yeah, but I just find it interesting, you know. But at the same time, it makes me wonder. I mean, when you think about reincarnation, you know, how are you going to come back? Can you come back as an animal? Because that would be amazing.
Mhm. Everything dies.
No.
Everything dies or is hurt. You don't want to be reincarnated as anything. I've looked at this.
Yeah, but I don't think it's our soul. I don't think it's us that gets reincarnated. I believe it's the spirit that gets reincarnated, the breath of life that comes back.
Right.
So I don't necessarily believe that we are going to feel the pain of the next life, or even know,
We might though.
Right.
about the next incarnation of our spirit.
But we talked about this. Maybe you do that. Maybe that's what fears come from.
Right.
Fears of snakes, fears of spiders, fears of rain.
Maybe
fears
Crystal
of-
was Cleopatra in her last life because she's terrified of snakes.
Who knows? Maybe she was a snake charmer and got bit and died.
Well, Cleopatra supposedly stuck her hand in a jar with an asp, and that the asp bit her and poisoned her, and she died. That's why I
That's a
say
good possibility.
Cleopatra.
I know. I wish we could, because like to come back as, if you could be something, like a dolphin as an animal or something. To me, that would be amazing. Some of the stuff.
Cheyenne,
Go
I'm
ahead.
not sure that it does talk about reincarnation in the Bible, but it does say that the spirit, our spirit, goes back to God that gave it. The spirit is not corrupted by what we do here on earth. And I know the Bible talks very clearly about us being body, soul, and spirit. The spirit is that breath of life, and I believe that goes back out. I believe God sends that breath of life into the next generation, or the next, I don't know how, if it waits a while. I don't know if it comes in and God puts it right back out. I don't know. Hi, Adrian.
It doesn't talk about reincarnation, but
The Bible deals more with the soul of a person than it does the spirit of the body.
Hi, Adrian. I hope you're doing well.
But what
And
is not in the Bible that we don't know about? There's plenty of books that we know that are not in a
Right.
Catholic Bible that are in a traditional Bible.
Well, I just read about this the other day. A traditional Protestant Bible has 68 books, right? 27 and 39.
No, there'd be
39 and 27.
Yeah, 6. So
66 books. The Catholic Bibles, if you get into the Orthodox Bibles, there's a whole nother section of several books that they have in their Bible. It's like 78 books, I want to say,
okay.
as opposed to 66. And the Catholic Bible is like 71. But
Now, don't,
that kid's in there going nuts.
but different religions don't believe, do they not believe in reincarnation? Because there are religions that
Yeah,
believe in
Hindu,
reincarnation.
Buddhism.
Yeah,
Buddhism believes that when you die, your soul goes on to an enlightened plane,
right.
and that you want to achieve that during your life before you die. That way,
Right.
when you die, the transition to the enlightened plane is easier and things of that nature. But it does. I do believe that Buddhism believes in reincarnation. It's been a long time since I've studied a lot of other religions. I believe the Quran says something about reincarnation. In the ancient Hebrew text.
Hi, Beverly.
Hi, Bev. You have to go back to, I think the book is called something about Zohar. Not Zohan, not the Adam Sandler movie. It's an ancient book of Jewish mysticism.
So, like Judaism.
Yes, but in an agnostic kind of way.
Okay.
So this is like before the book itself is like 7,000 or 8,000 years old. I mean, it goes way back. And in that book, it's actually quite an amazing book. It actually outlines superstring theory.
Right.
5,000 years before scientists rediscovered superstring theory. So, yeah, I mean, it's actually like a really, really interesting book to read if you can read it. Or at least an English translation of it.
Yeah, that would, right.
It's not just written in Hebrew, it's written in ancient Hebrew. Good luck. But in that book, it talks about reincarnation. So, I'm just talking about it from my experiences and what I've seen, what I've studied, what I've learned.
Right.
It's a Christian explanation. In my mind, it's a Christian explanation for the phenomena of like deja vu, or like you were talking about, some kid outlining a whole village that he's never been to.
Yeah, and yeah, Adrian, I was literally just talking about this video at the start of the show, and I find that interesting. That there are kids and video out there of them talking about their past lives on stuff they don't even know about. So it, in a sense, it really makes you wonder if that happens. And I'm not saying it might happen for everybody. That might not be the fact. That might be it.
I mean, when it comes to death and the afterlife, we're all just as clueless as anybody. That's why we're out here searching for it.
Absolutely.
That's why we do what we do. We don't know the answers.
And
if we did, everybody would know it.
Hey, I warned you, Mom. I warned you we were talking about this. It's my fact.
I was going to ask if there was a disclaimer for Mama Wilson. We don't need Mama Wilson worked up.
This is a disclaimer. This is NC-17. But you know,
And
I
Mrs. Wilson, trust me. I was raised in the church. I love the church. I love everything about Christianity. I really, really do. It's one of my favorite things to talk about.
and that's why we
I've
talk
read the
about this.
Bible. I've read the Bible in Greek. I've read the Bible in Hebrew. I've read the Bible in Aramaic, some Aramaic. I've read the Bible in 161 different versions. Trust me,
But
I've done my research and studied it.
being in paranormal has also opened your eyes to
Right.
other interpretations.
And that's true too. Being in the paranormal world has opened my eyes to different interpretations and different religions. But also in my studies, I also studied on other religions
Right,
because it's important to know, what not only your beliefs, but the beliefs of others. And
right.
while none of them has ever strayed my path from Christianity, it's just my personal belief that we have to know more.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the end of the day, we know about a total of 54 days of Jesus' life. Our entire religion is based upon 54 days out of 33 years.
Hi, Bev. Sorry.
It's not even it's not even
That's not even a
one
quarter of his
thousandth
life.
of his
Yeah,
life. And that's
yeah.
all we know about.
That's all we know.
That's all we have in the Bible. Now, there are a lot of books that were written that are not in the Bible, both Old Testament and New Testament.
Right.
I.e., the Vatican dungeon.
Vatican dungeon.
You have to remember that a group of human men sat down in 327 AD and determined which books were be put into the Bible and which books would not.
That's the biggest thing. And even now, there's a lot of things, like you said, that's not in the Bible that we do not know. You know.
Supposedly, now I've not read this, but supposedly Mary Magdalene wrote a book of the Bible.
Yep.
Thomas wrote a book of the Bible. These were all found in with the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Of course you can. You can always ask a question, and we will do our best to answer
We'll
it.
swing for the fences. We might not hit a home run, but we'll swing.
More Tim than me, because Tim's a religious man. I'm just the guy who has him on to listen to how smart he is.
How dumb I am.
Okay. Okay.
It's just I try to take, for me personally, the Bible is called the living word of God.
Hi, Joanne.
And for it to be the living word of God, hello, young lady,
Give them your analogy.
you would have
Okay,
to
well,
be
so all you hear in a little bit.
Give me your analogy. That you told me to give my
Put it in
professor.
the microwave.
okay. So my biggest analogy that I ever came up with religion was the Bible's called the sword. The word of God is referred to as a sword by Paul in the book of Romans.
Right.
Well, if you look at the Bible, one side of it is binding and it's covered and it's not sharp, but the other side has pages and can cut you. Now, Paul refers to it as a double-edged sword. The only way the Bible can be a double-edged sword is if it's open. Then it's sharp on both sides.
My professor's beloved God name.
And it got Crystal and Ann her religion class.
So, do you believe in seen figures of the ones that have passed on? And do you believe these are angels looking over you?
I'm not so sure if angels looking over us,
Can be.
but they
Correct.
could be.
Yeah, they could be.
They can certainly be here to warn us about the way we're living our life. Or they could be here to warn us about what's to come if we don't change our beliefs.
Right.
I believe that sometimes souls get lost on the way. I don't believe the path. The Bible talks a lot about pathways. And I don't believe the path is straight and narrow to get there. I also don't believe that everything is cut and dry. I mean, a good friend of mine who's a minister, been a minister for a long time, once told me that when you read the Beatitudes, when Jesus is giving the Sermon on the Mount, and he's talking about the meek, and he's talking, blessed are these, blessed are those. The Bible, loosely translated, is woe to you, woe to the ones, woe to the rich, we'll say, okay, woe to the rich. My buddy said that is the cleaned up version. He said if Jesus was really preaching, he was probably saying, damned are you who are rich and will not give your wealth to the poor. Damned are you who are strong and will not do what you can for the meek. So
I think, I don't think they're angels because I don't want to. I know where you're probably going at, like a guardian angel. They may just be there, in my opinion, to let you know that they are there and they are okay.
yeah.
1 second.
And we have very much seen evidence of that in the paranormal field. Heck, we've seen things where this lady's like, every day this knickknack gets knocked over. And the evidence has pointed us to Grandma just doesn't like where you set her knickknack. She wants it over here instead of over there. Set it over here and it won't be knocked over anymore. Or Grandma just wants you to know she's still around. People get terrified of the paranormal. And the truth is, it's just a dead person.
Right.
I shouldn't call it the paranormal. I hate calling it the paranormal. People are terrified of ghosts and spirits. But the truth is, they're just dead people.
Maybe they're just visiting you to just give you a comforting message.
Or maybe it's somebody who lived in your house for 50 years and had 50 years of memories in your house, and they just don't want to leave it. It's all they've ever known as home. It's their
absolutely
place. And you come in and you start changing it, and they don't understand why you're changing it. They don't understand. They don't get it. Maybe they're not even aware that you're there.
Yeah, that is a good possibility. I mean,
or maybe they need to be reminded that they aren't physically living there anymore, and somebody else has to come in and say, hey, you're not living anymore. They are trying to live and make new memories and have happy memories in the same place you did.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents lived in the same house for 47 years. Actually 77, I think. That they moved into December of 77. So I was like 5 months old when my parents moved into the house.
I remember when my dad first passed away. I remember my mom would smell coffee.
Yeah.
And which is awesome, and I don't know if that was. Here's what I know, okay? I hope that my dad is not here. As much as I would love to see my dad, I hope he is in heaven. And for me, in my opinion, I think most people should be that way. I don't think they should wish that a family member or somebody should still be here. I would hope that they would want them to pass on, go to the light and be gone and be happy for that.
Right.
Not to be stuck here to fulfill whatever need it is that we have. I don't want that. I don't want that for my dad. I don't want that for any family. When I go on, I want to haunt some of you for just a little bit, mess with you, drink your coffee, whatever. but then I want to go to where I'm going to go. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to
But
be stuck on
I
this
just
earth.
want to poke my head out and go boo and watch somebody jump.
but that doesn't always mean too
That's my ornery side.
that they can't come back and give you signs that they're still with you in
Right.
some sort of fashion.
A lot of times, I think what we see and what we hear is something of comfort.
Right. And yes, I do that. Yes. You know, and maybe it's just a good remind, it's a good reminder, because we don't want to not miss that person. You know what I'm saying? Um,
And we do.
we do.
I miss
Absolutely.
my mom and dad. I miss my grandparents.
Absolutely.
I don't know if Adrian's still in the room or not,
I don't know if Adrian's still here or not.
but I know her abilities.
Right.
Sometimes that's how we get messages to pass on
Right.
to other people to just say, hey, it's good what you're doing. No, wait a minute. You need to change course. Things aren't right. You need to do something different.
Right. Beverly, and like I said, um, hopefully it's just them letting you know that, um,
Yeah,
hey,
I'm proud of you. I'll be with you for the rest of your life.
Depending on the messages you're getting, Beb, you need to look at those messages and see what they are. And I'm going to tell you now, journaling them is a great way if you see a consistency. Like every time my car breaks down, this is the message I get. They're telling you something in that message. You need to pay attention to that.
so, and for me, like I said, Bev, I just hope they're just saying, hey, we're okay. We're
Yeah,
good. You know,
they're just there to let you know. Hey, Jeremy, how are you?
hey,
Tonight's
Jeremy.
topic's reincarnation. Jeremy, chime in whenever you want.
Fall into the fire, Jeremy. Eat
But
the
no,
apple.
like I said, my personal take, and for those of you who joined us a little later on, my personal take is our body goes back to the ground from which it came. Our spirit goes back to God who gave it. Our soul is what makes us us. But the spirit is the breath of life that God gives us, our actual living being, so to speak. And that spirit goes back to God, and then God recycles that spirit. So that's kind of my personal take on reincarnation, and like I said, deja vu,
Fears,
irrational fears.
phobias.
I have a daughter who's terrified of clowns. Maybe she was attacked by Pennywise in a former life. I don't know.
Hey, sis. And just some of you, if you're commenting, we can't see it because that happens. I just want to apologize for it, especially on like YouTube or something like that. Other sites that I reposted to. So I absolutely apologize about we're not seeing your stuff.
And I apologize for the topic because this is what
You,
Tim and I talked about for 2.5 hours on our way to Brown County for our friend's Cation getaway.
yeah, because originally we were going to talk about Transformers and stuff like that, but we're good with this one.
I was always a big Thundercats fan.
You were. But to me, this is a great conversation. This is a great topic, and I'm glad you guys talked about it.
We talk about the oddest stuff after 24 years of being married.
You have no idea. I'm sure you do, because I've been part of some of those topics.
Yeah, it just randomly pops out of my mouth, and before you know it, it's 2 hours later.
And I typically have an opinion on everything.
Hey, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if, like I said, if there is reincarnation, I really do. I hope I come back a little bit taller. I don't want to. I don't want to be.
Scotty's gonna go back 5'3".
Dude, that would be so. Like, are you kidding me? That's all you could give me was, you
got to wait 6 lives before you get to that 6 foot. An inch at a time.
Yeah,
Buddy.
Scott. Originally you started off as a 3-foot pygmy. I'm just saying.
Dude, I'm getting there. Yeah, Jeremy, I'll give you a call tomorrow after I get off work. Absolutely. But it would just be comforting to know. But like I said, As much as I want to believe or hope there's reincarnation, um, I'm going to tell you all right now. When I go, I don't want to come back. I don't want to be a spirit in this world. I want to go see wherever my family is.
Well, hello, Denise Pack. How are
Well,
you?
hi, sis. I hope you are doing well.
Hi, Denise.
Chris was in the background. She's been painting stuff all day, so she didn't want to be on
You
camera.
did not disrupt our thing and stop it.
Not at all.
I miss my pack friends.
There's nothing wrong with being short. You hit your head on a lot less things.
Mm-hmm. Once you reach 6 feet, this becomes a catch-all.
There's a reason why I'm bald. Hit my head on too many things. Yes, I did, Bev.
Oh yeah, so I hope your brother starts hitting some stuff too, because I hear him over there.
Yeah.
He's creeping around.
He said once you get 6 foot tall, this becomes a catch-all.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And I'm going to change it.
I got the scars to prove it.
Dude, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to change it for a second. Now, I've hit my head on some stuff, and I would just want to say that's some bullshit. Because if you put something down not low for this short guy to hit his head on something, there's freaking problems. You need to rethink what you're
A
doing.
person like me ain't got a chance.
Menards,
The reason why I let you go first, Scott. If you hit your head, I know I've got a duck. If not, I'm good.
I'm just saying. But that is just my theory. In this life, I hope when I'm gone from this planet, I'm gone. I don't want to be stuck purgatory. I don't want to be stuck wherever. I want to go and hopefully see my family.
Before cowboys and Indians.
And that is a good possibility. That's what, like Tim said, we read the Bible. We know what's in the Bible. But there is no defined thing that's saying there's not this and not that. And I people can disagree with me, but yes, we have the Bible. But Bible has been written by man, and there's things in the Bible, or there's things that is not in the Bible.
I've often said too that there's a big difference in what man says about God and what God says about God.
Absolutely.
A big difference between who God really is and what man says God is.
Yeah, because God created us. So if God wants us to come back again, that is his choice.
And I've actually talked to a lot of ministers about this. And the truth is, nobody knows. Maybe nobody goes to heaven until the end of time. Maybe that's when we all go to heaven.
Right.
I don't know.
And
Nobody
that is a
knows.
good point. No, you're right. You're right.
Or,
Maybe we do.
like I said, the Catholic Church talks about,
Is that Russell?
I don't know. The Bible talk, or I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Crystal interrupted me.
I'm sorry.
I've talked to a lot of ministers about the topic of reincarnation. And while a lot of them are very skeptical of it, there is the thought, that maybe my theory's right. I've also talked to a lot of ministers about when we go to heaven. The Bible says we can go to heaven or hell, but it does not say when we go to heaven or hell.
Yeah, because most people believe it's when the rapture happens, right?
A lot of people believe that people don't go to heaven until the rapture happens.
Right.
Or you die. A lot of people believe you die and you either go to heaven or hell.
Right.
And there's no fault. There's no right or wrong answer there. There's not. Maybe the Catholic Church has it right. Maybe wandering the earth is purgatory.
Right.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish I had all the answers. I don't.
And listen,
Nobody does.
and we all have our beliefs, and we respect everybody's beliefs, you know. But yeah, maybe the spirits here are in purgatory, waiting for the rapture, waiting for the end of times until it's time to go home.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we honestly don't know.
Explainly states that demons will roam this earth.
I didn't fart. I
Sorry.
promise.
There's a lot of noise at my house. I have a grandson now, so he runs around a lot.
No, grand dog is running around now. It's not much different though than you being more.
Yeah, and there are a lot
open.
of people who say that, you know, they have that outer body experience and that
Yeah,
they have
absolutely.
seen heaven. I don't doubt for a minute. I don't doubt for a minute that there is a heaven or a hell. I honestly don't.
Right. I
I
don't
do
either.
not doubt that for 1 second. But I do have questions on when.
Absolutely. I do too, because you know,
Mama Wilson just made a great point.
I hear your point because I don't have my phone.
She said 1,000 years is to a day to our Lord. It's very true. That's a very true statement. Maybe one of the best statements I've ever heard to explain it. Thank you.
so yeah, going ahead.
Max is at my brother's house now.
Yeah,
Max now lives with my brother. My brother needed a companion with him.
and now they have a little quiet dog. Who
The little
shivers.
quiet dog isn't mine. That's Maddie's.
The quiet dog is leaving when the daughter leaves, and then I
So,
would just have my
never?
copy of cats.
So never, basically never.
Huh?
So basically never.
Yes, Jeremy. A lot of silence now. It's very peaceful.
Yes, it is.
Dude, it's absolutely odd. It really is not hearing Max.
He does not bark at my house.
He's
I have
happy.
him out.
He's happy there.
I
I
have him out.
He is. Max is happy there. You don't have
He
Tim
is. He's
yelling
very
at him.
happy there. And
I'm
Kevin
sure.
takes really good care of him
There
and
was a
loves on him a lot more than I did.
last night,
Yeah, you jerkwad.
and he
Speaking of which, after the show, I need to speak to you about something.
liked his-
Okay.
But it'd be quick.
Okay. Good or bad?
Inside, I gave him a drink.
Neither.
Okay, I'm good with that.
it is eerily quiet.
But no,
Without Max.
You know what's going to happen? You're going to come back as a dog, and Max is going to come back as a dog, and you guys are going to be companions.
you never know.
You're going to be.
Yes, now
You're
we
going to be. He'll be pissed. He'll be like, "Really? Like,
Hang on
this is what I get."
10 seconds if I can have this. If this dog will come to me.
Okay. Chris said she's going to step on camera for 10 seconds. If
10.
you can pick Coda up.
9,
Here, buddy.
8, 7.
No, she said
One.
for 10 seconds.
Oh,
This is the little dog now.
hi, Coda. Yeah. Roar, roar. He's like, "Don't touch me, dude."
I didn't. I blew on him.
Okay.
He hates it.
Does he?
Yeah.
So yeah, you know,
This is one of Maddie's dogs.
Oh, Jeremy.
you
That
know,
was rude.
for
And
me,
any of those who
yeah,
know Reese,
I mean,
give
I don't know.
condolences to Mason
Yeah,
and Maddie,
and
too.
my son and his
reincarnation would
daughter.
be interesting.
My son and his daughter, their little dog just passed. So
Oh
Reese,
man,
I don't know if you
Reese
remember
passed
Reese.
away. That sucks.
It's Coda's dad.
Yeah, the little dog we just showed, it was his dad.
And
Reese
you-
had kids.
Reese has 8 kids by like 2 different baby mamas. Yeah.
Wow,
He's a
that
player.
explains a lot why Coda is the way he is.
10. Reese has 10 kids.
We're not sure about the last couple, if they're Reese's or Cokes.
But somebody should be getting some doggy support. I'm just saying.
We know of at least 8.
But
But
yeah,
if we do come back as reincarnation, and it can be anything, I hope I'm pair models everywhere.
Scott's going to be in the NBA in his next life.
You damn right. You damn right.
He's going to be like 6'10".
I'm gonna be 6'10". I'm gonna be the white Michael Jordan.
You said it, not me.
Have a good night, Beverly.
Have a good night, Bev. I'm going to come back as 4'11".
I was gonna say,
You don't want to
Tim,
be that short because you will have to use a booster seat. I'm just saying.
his worst nightmare, a midget. He doesn't like midgets.
It's not that I don't like midgets. Don't say that. And they're not midgets. They're little people. It's not
Don't
that I
say
don't
that.
like them. They're perfectly wonderful people.
He doesn't like that they're
I don't like
disproportionate.
disproportion. It drives me kind of crazy.
When's your birthday?
July 12th.
Nice.
Day before we're supposed to go on the boat.
All right. I'm gonna hook you up, bro.
Oh, Lord.
I'm gonna have this game.
It's nothing against them.
I'm gonna get
personally.
you
I don't-
both. I'm gonna get you
nothing
and
against
her.
them personally. I have no. Some of them.
I'm gonna
kinda
get a
freak me out.
midget.
Some of them I just want to pick up and like carry around.
Oh,
You
I'm
know,
gonna get a midget,
and I know that's a no-no.
and I'm gonna have him dress up as an alien, and I'm gonna get both of you. He's gonna chase you guys around the house.
Ah,
I'm gonna baptize you in the ceremony.
Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna come to your house, and you guys you just invite me in. He's gonna walk in and just go off on you. I'm just saying. You believe in
Brad Williams running
reincarnation?
his
You're
start
about ready
humping a
to.
leg. I'll have one on each leg.
Dude, that'd be great.
But no, I mean, yeah, I have nothing against anybody.
That's my dog.
I like to think I love everybody equally.
Oh,
Or hate
yeah,
everybody equally, either which way you want to look at it.
absolutely.
Depends on if I'm driving or not.
Oh,
Oh, if he's
definitely.
driving, just forget about it. I'll record his messages while driving. Forget about it.
I use a lot of colorful language while I'm driving. I do apologize in advance, but I use a lot of colorful language while I'm driving.
That would be pretty awesome to come back as a different race, alien race. That would be pretty cool. Because listen, God made the heavens, He made the earth. We have no idea what else is out there.
And we've talked about that.
We have.
And in the ancient Hebrew, when there's two different ways you can translate some of the words. Sometimes in Greek, there's 27 ways to say the word "the." Just so you know.
How
But-
many different words are there for God? Depending on how you're talking
Well,
about
in
God.
Hebrew, there's really 3 different words for God, but there's actually very many, depending on the context. And it's usually followed with an adjective. But at any rate, in the ancient Hebrew, when it says, "And God created man in His own image," there is a point of argument there because the literal translation is, "And this time God created man in His own image."
Which suggests that this isn't the first time.
Right.
Which is why why Tim believes in aliens.
I believe in aliens because our government came out and said, yeah, it's real. It just happened in the middle of COVID-19, so nobody paid any attention to it.
Right.
Smoke show, I'm going to reveal this over here, but I want you to look over here.
Yeah. Hello. Which we've
Song
talked
and
about
dance,
stuff
puppet
like
and
that.
strings.
Oh yeah. That's just how the government rolls.
Well, Scott, we don't have a whole lot of time left.
We do not.
Do we
And
have
this,
a jackass?
I do. If anybody watches the NBA, I'm going to show this. So the Indiana Pacers are playing the Cavaliers. I think it was Tuesday night. With 47 seconds left, the Cavs led by 7 points. By 27 seconds, they led by 5. 12.1 seconds, they led by 3. And then they led by 2 with 1.1 second left. Guess what?
The Pacers beat them.
Pacers beat them. So this week's jackass of the week goes to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I hope I'm not jinxing us because they are the number 1 seed and I really want us to beat the Cavs. So we just want to thank you for allowing us to come back with 47 seconds left to beat you at home and be up 2-0. So, Cavs, you are my jackass. And that's all I got to say about that. That was my Forrest Gump.
Work on it, babe.
Oh, I plan on it. Don't worry. Oh, bloody hell.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Well, see, he did it perfectly.
No, I didn't.
You did.
No, I
No.
didn't. There's really only one voice I can imitate perfectly.
Sasquatch?
No, Jerry Reed.
No, Jerry Reed.
Yeah, I do pretty good Jerry Reed impersonation.
Hello, and thank you for stopping and appreciate you so much. And we are doing well. I hope you are doing well as well. All right, brother. Have a good night.
Next episode is going to be a little wonky.
Yes. Next episode, it's going to be in the next couple of weeks. I do know that. So I'll make sure there's good advertisement. It's going to be wonky. It's our season ending series. So,
And we are going to do some challenges.
yeah, we're going to have fun, but we're going to have fun. We're going to play some games, get a little crazy. So please tune in. It's for you guys to have fun and laugh and enjoy.
And I'm
the
going to
season
slap
finale.
Scotty with a tortilla.
And I'm going to bounce it right off of that big forehead of his. So
While we hold water in our mouths.
why we hold, and we do have Jason Wall joining us.
And hopefully
Yeah.
Jason Morales as well.
Yes, hopefully. But we are definitely smacking the shit out of Jason Wall. So until then, thank you guys for everything. I will always put up with you, Mama. And from us to you, ladies out there, happy Mother's Day for Sunday.
Absolutely.
Without you, they wouldn't even,
Y'all wouldn't be here.
we wouldn't be here. But without us,
We wouldn't
y'all
be
wouldn't be here. So until then, if you're not laughing, you're not living. So thank you all so much.
Thanks,
And,
everybody.
We hope you have a great weekend.
And thanks for sharing this video.
Yes, thank you for sharing this out. We absolutely appreciate it. So until then, I hope y'all have a good night. Peace.
Bye.